Tonight on CTV News at 6, a tentative teachers deal. Progress presented to the union for a vote.
They've gone extraordinarily quiet since late last week, and I think that was a sign that they had gotten serious.
A man accused of setting a deadly Edmonton apartment fire in court asking for bail. And Alberta fire evacuees heading home for the first time since May.
This is over, close to 50% of the community that was lost in the fire.
Certainly felt a lot more like autumn today, but there is some warmer air rolling back in for at least one more day tomorrow.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. A tentative agreement has been reached between the province and the Alberta Teachers Association. It's now up to teachers to decide if it's good enough as a possible strike looms. CTV's Nerman Issa has the latest.
Most of the parents, they are working, and if the strike is happening, it will be a challenge for us, where to keep our kids.
This mom of three is happy to hear that the Alberta Teachers Association and the province have reached a tentative agreement. The province's 51,000 teachers will now vote on this deal this weekend.
If the deal looks a lot like what we saw in the spring, I have my doubts.
A labor relations professor believes not much will have changed in this tentative deal. He says there is a high level of anger and frustration among teachers in the province.
The two sets of negotiating teams hopefully recognize that and have figured out something to put in there for them. But if it looks like the deal I think it might be, I wouldn't be holding my breath.
The ATA issued a statement writing, "Teachers do not take the decision before them lightly. They recognize what is on the line with this vote and remain committed to an outcome that prioritizes the future of our public education system."
We saw a lot of both parties talking at the public about things and not to each other. And so they've gone extraordinarily quiet since late last week. And I think that was a sign that they had gotten serious and they were buckling down and they're saying, okay, what do we need to do?
While both sides are not releasing the specifics of the deal, the province says the tentative agreement is strong on classroom investment. The ATA added that its educators will consider the tentative agreement that addresses salary and classroom complexity issues, which includes a commitment to hire an additional 3,000 teachers over the next 3 years. Parents have been warned to prepare childcare in case of a strike. The YMCA says more than 1,500 children are signed up for its day programs. Other parents are weighing their options.
And I'm working, my husband working, so there is no other option for me, only the daycare. And daycare means I have to pay money for that.
If a deal is not reached, teachers are expected to go on strike October 6th. Nair Nisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Some evacuees from Chippewa Lake are returning home. They were forced to leave in May just before a wildfire leveled much of the hamlet 450 kilometers north of Edmonton. The hamlet says 38 of its 62 homes were destroyed. 37 people have now returned to the east side of the lake, which was untouched by the fire. The municipal district is working to provide temporary accommodations. The MD's Reeve says the rollout is expected to begin in the coming weeks, allowing more evacuees to return home.
Chippewa Lake is unfortunately the one where we actually had homes lost. This is over close to 50% of the community that was lost in the fire. Very difficult when you fly over and see the devastation from the air, because that fire covers so much area.
The hamlet also lost its seniors center and had major damage done to its water treatment plant. A temporary plant is expected to open in the coming weeks. Until then, the community continues to drive in water from Wabasca, roughly 2 hours away. New interim housing will be available for people in Jasper who lost their homes during last year's wildfire. The Jasper Coordination Center is offering dormitory-style accommodations at Marmot Meadows. The recreational area is next to Whistler's Campground. The spaces are available for a fixed-term lease from October until the end of April. Earlier this year, 300 interim housing units were made available. Parks Canada says there are 500 people using interim housing in the town. The man accused of setting a deadly apartment fire near White Avenue was in court late this afternoon. Jason Zabos was before a justice hoping to be granted bail, but was denied. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
In January 2024, flames ripped through this apartment building near 79 Avenue and 107th Street. A fire, investigators say, was deliberately set. 7 people were taken to hospital. A 70-year-old man didn't make it out. His body was discovered months later after family reported him missing. Edmonton police were at the building in the hours before the fire, helping another agency execute a court order on a man in a main floor suite. They say that's where the fire started. Jason Zabos was arrested shortly after. He's charged with manslaughter, 2 counts of arson with disregard for human life, disobeying a court order, obstruction, and mischief. During a contested bail hearing this afternoon, Zabos was given permission to sit next to his lawyer as she argued why he should be released. A publication ban prevents us from reporting what happened during the hearing. It lasted about an hour, with the justice ultimately deciding to deny his bail application. Zabos has been in custody since his arrest in May 2024, where he'll stay until his trial, which is scheduled to start next September. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Edmonton police are looking for a man in connection with a sexual assault that took place more than 10 years ago. Police say a woman was sexually assaulted by 2 people in a vehicle in the Clairview area in January 2013. Warrants are out for 31-year-old Azad Yunus for sexual assault and uttering threats. Police say another suspect turned himself in earlier this month. He was underage at the time of the offense, so he cannot be named. Police say DNA testing led to the recent identifications. Rescuers in southern Alberta are looking at bringing in reinforcements from the military in their search for a missing 5-year-old boy. Alberta Search and Rescue says talks with the armed forces and other groups have focused on which resources would benefit search efforts. Since Sunday, crews have been scouring the Crow's Nest Pass looking for Darius McDougall. RCMP say the boy didn't return to a campground from a walk with 6 young family members. RCMP say the boy's family is getting support from victim impact services. Alberta now leads the country in the rate of children that are living with food insecurity. The Breakfast Club of Canada says it's witnessing the trend at a record pace. Tens of thousands of kids showing up to school hungry. Nicole Lampa has the story.
I prefer that they're nice and warm. Miguel St. Pierre volunteers at St. Joseph High School's free daily breakfast program. He knows what it's like to go to school without healthy food.
I used to come here in grade 10 and I didn't know we had the breakfast club, and I'd be hungry all day.
According to the Breakfast Club of Canada, about 1 in 3 kids go to school hungry countrywide. It says the number has climbed in Alberta, with nearly 40% of children in our province now living in a food insecure household, an increase of 30% in 1 year. The organization says Alberta now has the highest child food insecurity rate among all provinces. Teacher Nathan Bai has seen the jump. He took over the breakfast program at St. Joseph 8 years ago.
It started out at about 30 students, and now every day we feed approximately 250.
The Breakfast Club of Canada is now fundraising to help offset costs.
It is really due to the rise in food cost and the cost of living. And so that also reflects, of course, in the lives of students and their families.
A local family doctor says healthy food in the morning is essential for young minds.
So we need those calories for our brain, to fuel our brain. And we also know that it's important for the growth and development of a child too. So it's absolutely critical.
Miguel agrees, saying he noticed the difference as soon as he joined the Breakfast Club.
And once I found out, I would start eating breakfast and get my energy in the morning, and I do a lot better in school.
The Breakfast Club of Canada says, despite recent help from the UCP government, it's now dealing with an unprecedented strain in Alberta. Nicole Lampa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Alberta's Education and Childcare Ministry says the price of food has dramatically increased over the past few years. It points to recent government spending to address food insecurity, including $42 million for the rollout of the National School Program, on top of money to support Alberta's school nutrition program. Mad Canada is hitting the road with its annual school program to prevent impaired driving, and it's starting in Edmonton. This year's school program kicked off at Emmy Lazert High School. The 1-hour presentation included several short films to illustrate the risks of impaired driving. The sessions conclude with testimonies from victims and survivors.
We find, of course, the victim testimonials have the most impact on young people, hearing directly from victims who have suffered devastating loss or injury.
This is a really good presentation. It always gets me thinking.
This year's program also features an interactive quiz encouraging students to reflect on their choices. The Forever Canadian group is hitting the road to gather more signatures for its petition. Former Alberta politician Thomas Lukazik is behind the group, trying to get the province to declare remaining in Canada its official policy. He needs to collect nearly 300,000 signatures. Over the next few weeks, Lukazik will be traveling by motorhome throughout the province to drum up support. While the total number of signatures collected so far is unknown, one volunteer says she's gathered more than 1,200.
People are so happy to see me coming right around to their door because they don't know where to go and get signs, signatures, to take their signatures. So people are welcoming me into their home, and they're very happy to see us.
We now know that in order to reach that number, we can't just collect signatures in large cities. We have to reach out to rural Alberta and to give everybody an opportunity to sign this petition.
Lukazik says the first batch of petitions will be coming in later this week. That's when they'll know how close they are to reaching 300,000 signatures. They have until October 28th to collect names. Dozens of Edmontonians helped plant trees in Terwilliger Park this afternoon. The event is being held on National Tree Day as a symbol of the vital role that trees play in our ecosystem. Thousands of seedlings will be planted across Canada this week. Today's event is being held in conjunction with the City of Edmonton's Roots for Trees initiative.
An effort to get as many people out as we can. We're hoping to get 1,000 trees planted today.
Organizers say around 125 people showed up to plant a tree. An Edmonton Oilers player is taking a leave of absence after his father died. The Oilers say Vasily Podkolzin's father died suddenly last night. He's returning to Russia to be with his family. Podkolzin signed a 3-year contract extension with the team yesterday. And Edmonton's big guns will make their preseason debut at Rogers Place tonight. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl will be in the lineup when the Oilers host the Seattle Kraken at 7 o'clock. Trent Frederick will join them on the team's top line. He joined the Oilers late last season when he was traded by Boston. Frederick says he's excited about the opportunity.
I'm just going to get to the net, work hard, try to get the puck as much as I can, just enjoy it. And, it's a great opportunity. It's just to play one game with him would be awesome, so it'll be cool.
I do want to have him play with those guys for a little bit and get some chemistry. Freddie hasn't had the opportunity to play top six very much in his career, and feel that hopefully he can complement him.
The Oilers have 4 preseason games remaining after tonight. Their regular season begins with the Battle of Alberta on October 8th. And Rogers Place will host elite-level women's hockey this winter. The Canadian women's hockey team will take on the United States in the annual rivalry series in Edmonton, December 10th and 13th. It's been 8 years since the series has been on Alberta ice. Rogers Place says it is looking forward to hosting more women's sports.
It's super important for us to show our support for the women's team going into the Olympics, and very, very excited that they're coming here to Rogers Place for the final 2 games of the rivalry series.
This year, the series will be a 4-game set. It will be the last time the 2 teams meet ahead of the Winter Games in Italy this coming February. The Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation is matching donations to local charities for the first part of the hockey season. The foundation says it will match every $25 donation made from today until January 24th. The donation match will max out at $1 million. The foundation is marking its 25th anniversary. 5 charities will be supported through the initiative, including Every Kid Deserves a Shot and Hockey Fights Cancer.
Investments from the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation have led to new treatments for cancer that are being manufactured right here in oil country. And the impact of that is not just in our community, but it'll spread across the country and around the world.
Every $25 will also earn the donor a spot in a draw to meet Edmonton Oilers players. A full list of the charities can be found on the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation website. A little different out there today, Josh. We're not used to that. It's almost cool.
No, I mean, it's been a little over a month since we had temperatures as cool as they were today. You got to go back to the middle of August to find the last time that we had a daytime high cooler than today's 16. It was 13 degrees, August 15th. 16 degrees, the current temperature and the daytime high. Wind is not bad. Earlier this afternoon, you had some gusts for a little while to about 20, 25 kilometers per hour, but those have died down, and the wind should be fairly light for the rest of the this evening. 17 is the average high. So, yes, a lot cooler than it's been for a while, but no worse than average for both the high and the low. It was just the second time this month that we have failed to get above 20 degrees. Look at all that red on that temperature calendar. The 4th of September, a couple of weeks ago there, this is the last time we were in the teens, 19 degrees. 16 today. I think we'll get back into the low 20s tomorrow, though. But there are more teen temperatures in the forecast for most of the next week, week and a half. There's a satellite radar map. We had some clouds lurking over the city for most of the day today. Those have now cleared out. A lot of the rain kind of fell apart before it hit the Edmonton area, although there were a few sprinkles in parts of the city. With the clearing and after a cool day today, frost advisories in effect across northwestern Alberta and for areas east and north of the city of Edmonton. The city not included in that, and most of that lavender area will not see a killing frost. There will be a little bit of patchy frost, though, for a couple spots in through those regions. 9 degrees mid-evening, dropping to 5 by tomorrow morning. A little gusty around lunchtime tomorrow, but for most of the day, the wind should be a non-factor, and as we mentioned, we'll be back into the 20s for at least one more day. Full look at your 5- to 10-day forecast accompanies.
Thank you, Josh. Coming up on CTV News at 6, waiting for health care.
It takes you a year because you have to get an x-ray, then you get in line for an MRI, then you see a surgeon, and then you try the other things.
What the province has to say is a new study shows nearly 500,000 Albertans are sitting on waiting lists for surgery, diagnostics, and specialists.
So I think it's important for everyone to donate blood and to be on the stem cells registries.
Alberta parents mark Childhood Cancer Awareness Month.
Coming up Thursday on Your Morning, we continue to prepare for fall, getting your yard and your skin ready, plus a look back at the shows that we watched when we were homesick from school.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
A new study says more Albertans are waiting for important healthcare services even after the pressure of the pandemic has eased. While wait times for surgeries, scans, and specialists are well documented, this study says more and more people are waiting for those appointments. As CTV's Stephanie Thomas reports, some Albertans are willing to pay to be seen while others feel left behind.
Mary Jane Faubert could hardly walk. Multiple doctors told her she needed a knee replacement, but to book at an Edmonton hospital was going to take over a year.
It takes you a year because you have to get an x-ray, then you get in line for an MRI, then you see a surgeon, and then you try the other things, you try the cortisone shots.
So she went to Toronto on July 22nd and paid $30,000 out of pocket, not including travel expenses.
The type of service I got was exceptional. But shouldn't all healthcare be exceptional, no matter if you pay for it?
She's not counting on Alberta Health Services for reimbursement. Ashley and Alex Nikolova say each of their separate health concerns have been dismissed or involved long waits. Most urgently, Alex has a 1.5 year wait for a gynecologist after a negative experience in the emergency department last July.
That's insane, because by that time the problem could, increase into a larger concern or worse symptoms.
We left feeling defeated, and I was so worried about my wife because at that point she was still bleeding profusely. We were a number that they were trying to usher out the door.
These Albertans are not alone, according to a public policy think tank. Through Freedom of Information requests and provincial postings, secondstreet.org found that more Albertans are waiting. Since 2022, 6,000 more Albertans are waiting for surgery, 70,000 more are wanting diagnostic imaging. The total for Canadians on a wait list is about 3.7 million, but a spokesperson says the patchwork of data collected could make it closer to 5.8 million.
Really, the big takeaway is just that these numbers everywhere are far too high, and that we really need to get started on some serious health reform.
In an emailed statement to CTV News, the Ministry for Hospital and Surgical Health Services says Alberta's government knows there is more work to do to reduce wait times across our healthcare system, adding, we need to do more. Stephanie Thomas, CTV News, Calgary.
September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and some parents are marking it by making blood donations. These families are paying tribute to the bravery of their kids as they face their cancer diagnoses. They're also thanking everyone who donates blood or plasma. Every year, about 1,000 children under the age of 15 are diagnosed with cancer in Canada. Over 86% survive thanks to treatment and donations of blood and money.
My son was diagnosed with AML, leukemia, in 2021, and he had a stem cell transplant in 2021. So I think it's important for everyone to donate blood and to be on the stem cells registry. So I'm here to advocate for kids with cancer.
You can book an appointment to donate at blood.ca. Health Canada is joining the list of agencies pushing back against the Trump administration claims linking Tylenol to autism. Health Canada says there is no conclusive evidence that using acetaminophen as directed during pregnancy causes autism or other neurodevelopmental disorders. The agency adds it's still the recommended treatment of pain and fever in pregnancy. It says not treating those symptoms can pose risks to the unborn child. Acetaminophen is the generic name for Tylenol. Trump made the claims about the drug earlier this week. Coming up, Career Day on campus.
Face-to-face interactions really help candidates set themselves apart.
U of A students connected with possible employers.
A little bit of a warm-up on the way for tomorrow as temperatures get back into the 20s, but it'll be a one and done. Back into the teens after that. Friday and the weekend. Forecast next.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Thousands of students at the University of Alberta are getting ready to join the workforce. With Alberta facing high unemployment rates, the school held Career Day to give them a chance to meet their future employers. Evan Kenny has more.
Thousands of university students piled into the Butterdome today, hoping to find a new job.
I'm here just to see kind of what other opportunities are available to me.
Jake Reimer and Zayden Bodie are both mechanical engineering students. They say it's hard to find a job as a student, so they've come here to see who's hiring.
We don't really have anywhere to go that tells you where to apply, so coming here and looking around, kind of seeing who is applying or taking these interns is kind of what I'm looking for.
Nearly 100 employers were at the event, many accepting resumes on the spot.
We are open to people who are looking to step into the world of the corporate environment. We provide the training that they would need. We're basically looking for people with the skill sets.
Face-to-face interactions really help candidates set themselves apart.
With so many candidates looking for jobs in this competitive market, the university says these in-person conversations can give you the upper hand. Last month, Alberta's unemployment rate for people aged 15 to 24 climbed to 17%, the highest it's been since 2017.
Regardless of youth unemployment rates, we know that university degrees really future-proof you as an individual because of the multitude of skills that you have to offer.
The event also offered resume review sessions and professional headshots. The U of A holds its Career Day every September. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Not as warm today. A preview of what's in store.
Yeah, I mean, temperatures, as we said earlier, were only back to average, but a lot cooler than it's been so far in September. There are more teen daytime highs on the way, though. River Valley Sky Camps brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. We're at 16 degrees right now, which is our daytime high. Blue skies over the city after a gloomy, cloudy start to the day. 19 in Fort McMurray, 17 in Red Deer, Grand Prairie as well. Made it to 17 degrees for a daytime high. So there were a couple of spots that got a little bit warmer today. Fort McMurray won. Medicine Hat, Lethbridge after a couple of days around 30, back into the low 20s today. They'll be in the 30-degree range again tomorrow, though. Let's check out early this morning. Look at all this heavier rain that was falling from around Grand Cache down towards Hinton. There was actually even some lightning north of Hinton early this morning. You can see skies have cleared out pretty quickly here through this afternoon, and we'll keep the clear skies overnight tonight, at least for the Edmonton area. I think here in northwestern Alberta, you'll see some increase in cloud overnight tonight and a cloudy start to the day tomorrow. But Edmonton, areas off to the south, sunshine tomorrow morning. Sunny with a few clouds tomorrow afternoon. Late afternoon around supper time, we'll see a little bit of cloud cover spill in, and then here across the northeast, maybe some showers. Now, as this cold front starts to get a little more active, this morning it was west and northwest of the city that we had most of the rain. I think tomorrow night, most of the showers will be off to the west and southwest of the city. And again, a lot of this is going to break down as it rolls through the Edmonton region. So today, aside from a couple of spotty raindrops, there really wasn't much for precipitation. We'll see what happens tomorrow night, but I have a feeling it may kind of fizzle out as it rolls through the area as well. Friday, there's your clearing for the afternoon hours, and temperatures after being up from the 21, 22 degree range tomorrow, back to about 17 or 18 for a high on Friday. It's 18 degrees right now in Fort McMurray, 17 in Grand Prairie, still at 16s in Edmonton and Red Deer, and most areas looking at fairly light wind. The wind will stay light for the rest of tonight. It does pick up a little bit around lunchtime tomorrow, 20 gusting to 40 kilometers per hour. And a really cool start to the day. As we pointed out earlier, east of the city, north of the city, you might see some patchy frost. In the city, you're going to stay well above zero, though, and we'll be into the low 20s by tomorrow afternoon. Sunshine for the first half of the day, and then a few clouds late in the day. Tomorrow evening, that 40% chance of a scattered shower. And behind that cold front, we drop back to, I'm going to go 18s for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but really I'm just trying to be within a degree or two of daytime highs here when you get 2 to 5 days out. So anywhere between about 16 and maybe 20 for a daytime high, probably 16 to 19 range through the end of Sunday. Monday, 21, which is conservative. I think there's a chance we get to 22 or 23. So tomorrow and Monday, 2 more days where we're in the 20s. After that, looks like as we head into October, we're going to see daytime highs in a mid to high teens and a chance of some more showers there to kick off October, Wednesday of next week. Now, you look at those temperatures. Yes, that is a lot cooler than where we've been for the first 3 weeks of September. But the average daytime high over the next 10 days goes from 17 degrees to 13 degrees. So even these 17, 18 degree daytime highs through next week are still well above average.
Thank you, Josh. Coming up, unauthorized access allegations.
This is clearly information that could be potentially leveraged by what we call a threat actor.
A bank employee accused of accessing the Prime Minister's information for criminal purposes. And
anyway, as I was saying before I was interrupted.
He's back. Jimmy Kimmel returns to American airwaves. An Ottawa man has been charged after the Prime Minister's personal banking information was accessed for criminal purposes. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
It all started in July with a tip-off complaint from RBC to the Mounties. Police accused then-bank employee Ibrahim El Hakim of accessing, among other things, Prime Minister Mark Carney's personal data. The 23-year-old faces 4 charges: fraud over $5,000, unauthorized use of computer, identity theft, and trafficking in identity information. RCMP won't say if they believe the suspect is linked to organized crime.
This is the Prime Minister's financial information, and what I gather from this is that this is clearly information that could be potentially leveraged by what we call a threat actor.
The case is being handled by the RCMP's Integrated National Security Enforcement Team, but they note there is no threat to the Prime Minister's safety or national security. For its part, RBC says it independently identified unauthorized system access, took immediate action to engage authorities, and El Hakim is no longer employed at the bank. The bank didn't answer CTV News questions about whether high-profile client accounts are given more protection than average Canadians.
It applies to all Canadians, so it just reminds everyone that, privacy and having system to prevent, fraudulent access to anyone's file is something that we should all be concerned about.
I'm not aware of those details, actually. Yeah, but that would worry me. Yeah.
The suspect has another court appearance here in Ottawa next week. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky addressed the United Nations today, seeking continued support in its war against Russia. This comes one day after U.S. President Donald Trump said he believed Ukraine could win the war. Judy Trin reports.
We are now living through the most destructive arms race in human history.
Even as Ukraine's president warned about the escalating dangers of unchecked AI-controlled drones, Volodymyr Zelensky said the less advanced version of the weapons was enabling his country to hold back Moscow's might.
Ukraine doesn't have the big fat missiles dictators love to show off in parades, but we do have drones that can fly up to 2,000-3,000 kilometers.
Zelensky cited success in destroying Russian assets in the Black Sea and key infrastructure. His comments come as the American president takes a harsher tone toward the Kremlin. In the past week, Russian drones and fighter jets have flown into the airspace of Poland and Estonia, NATO members.
Do you think that NATO countries should shoot down Russian aircraft if they enter their airspace?
Yes, I do. After Tuesday's face-to-face, Donald Trump made a remarkable U-turn. He posted on social media that after getting to understand the Ukraine-Russia military-economic situation, he now believes Ukraine can win back all of its territory. Previously, Trump had said ending the war would require Ukraine giving up territory it had lost. The prime minister said that Vladimir Putin had proven he could not be trusted.
The president, however, has made very sincere and multiple efforts to try to establish peace. He has used his long-standing relationship with President Putin in those efforts to try to establish peace, and Putin has failed on every occasion, every opportunity.
Trump has called on nations to put secondary sanctions on countries that buy Russian oil. Prime Minister Mark Carney said G7 countries are discussing such economic measures to put additional pressure on Putin to end the war. Judy Trin, CTV News, New York.
At least 17 people are dead and more are missing in Taiwan in the aftermath of Typhoon Regasa. Heavy storm rains caused a barrier lake to burst, quickly flooding the area and leaving it covered with a thick layer of mud. The typhoon then slammed into the southern coast of China, battering Hong Kong. It caused severe floods, knocked out power, and lashed heavily populated areas with destructive wind. Regasa has been downgraded from a super to a severe typhoon. A detainee is dead and 2 others are injured after a shooting at a Dallas holding center used by Immigrations and Customs Enforcement known as ICE. Authorities say the shooter opened fire from a nearby roof with a rifle. The attacker shot at the ICE building and at a van where the victims were hit. The suspect has been identified as a 29-year-old man. The head of ICE says the man shot and killed himself. Late-night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel returned to the airwaves after a suspension that lasted less than a week. While the ratings aren't in yet, his return has been viewed more than 15 million times on his YouTube channel. As CTV's Andrea Case reports, he was defiant, apologetic, and at times emotional.
Last night, when Jimmy Kimmel returned to the show that bears his name...
Anyway, as I was saying before I was interrupted...
He did so with a nod to the original night show host, Jack Parr, who in 1960 walked off the set after NBC censors cut a joke he had told. Parr returned a month later with these words.
As I was saying before I was interrupted...
Kimmel, who was suspended last week, didn't have to wait that long.
I understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man.
The suspension came after backlash over his comments on the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. He had these words for Kirk's widow.
On Sunday, Erica Kirk forgave the man who shot her husband. She forgave him. That is an example we should follow.
Approximately 20% of U.S. networks are still not airing Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Tonight, I'm back and I missed you.
Owned by Nexstar and Sinclair, including those in Washington, D.C., Seattle, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Syracuse, New York.
This show is not important. What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this.
Canadian singer-songwriter Sarah McLachlan, who signed a joint letter with 400 other celebrities in support of Kimmel's return, was the musical guest.
Asking me if there are conditions for my return to the air, and there is one. Disney has asked me to read the following statement.
And what would a Tonight Show monologue be without poking fun at the situation?
To reactivate your Disney Plus and Hulu account.
He had no ratings.
Well, I do tonight.
Andrea Case, CTV News.
Still ahead, looking decades into the future.
We envision interactive devices for the future. That is, how would devices 50 years from now would look like?
Some devices Alberta researchers are working on that could change how people live, work, and heal. Also ahead. The Royal Tyrrell Museum is celebrating its 40th anniversary in cities across the province. Checking on the markets, the Canadian dollar traded for 71 cents U.S. today. Oil was up $1.58, closing the day at $64.99 a barrel. Gold lost nearly $48. Both the TSX and Dow Jones finished the day lower, down 58 points and 171 points. University of Calgary researchers are building devices that merge technology with the human body. CTV's Kevin Green takes us inside the DIF lab to see what they're working on.
In a tiny lab at the University of Calgary, a group of researchers is designing the technology of tomorrow.
We envision interactive devices for the future. That is, how would devices 50 years from now would look like?
Merging disciplines from medicine to chemistry to computer science, they're developing things like bandages that can speed healing through electrical stimulation and patches that serve as glucose monitors.
The first vision was to create something non-invasive that can actually detect, like sweat glucose, lactate, or cortisol, which can actually, tell us whether we are actually suffering from any kind of lifestyle diseases or not.
Other products include snap-on modules to make your smartwatch even smarter, and in tandem with performing artists working to make robots act less scary and more lovable. In this lab, no idea is considered outlandish.
I'm not a biologist, but I read a lot of biology, and through our work, I get to know how our human body functions. I'm not a surgeon or a doctor, but I get to work closely with surgeons to identify the problems that they have.
For example, this tiny square cloth can tell you when you've had too much UV exposure. The team is working with the university to bring technology like this to market.
The next phase is in identifying how we would commercialize this and identifying what would be the business models and how would you, manufacture them on a scale.
Researchers say regulatory approval is often the biggest hurdle, especially for medical devices, meaning it could be years before you have a T-shirt telling you it's time to come in out of the sun. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
The country's largest mental health and addiction recovery conference is underway in our province. Hundreds are gathered in Calgary for the Recovery Capital Conference. Participants are sharing ideas and success stories when it comes to treating mental health and addictions. The event was started by the Last Door Recovery Society 9 years ago as a central location for industries to come together and come up with new ideas.
And the pathways to recovery, although there are many philosophies, it's all about the pursuit of wellness, well-being, and always happening. Recovery is a process, and it's going to take a long time to keep recovering to get well.
The Society estimates about 70% of the people at the conference this year have lived experience with addictions treatment. WestJet staff helped volunteers do some heavy hauling to raise money for charity. They pulled a 30,000-kilogram plane 100 meters in support of Hope Air. The charity helps offset the cost of medical travel. It provides free flights, accommodations, ground transportation, and meal vouchers for families and patients. Organizers say the generosity of Albertans helps in the toughest of times.
that people are willing to give a hand to those who need help, the most vulnerable, not just in our city, but in our province and across the country. So I think it speaks volumes that it's like Alberta strong, there to support their neighbors and to support Canadians overall.
$56,000 were raised. The Royal Tyrrell Museum in Drumheller is celebrating its 40th anniversary by sending exhibits to libraries across the province. This pop-up is at the Stanley A. Milner Library downtown. The Museum of Paleontology is Canada's only museum dedicated to the study of ancient life. It's also home to one of the world's largest displays of dinosaurs. Still ahead, quality control for calls in Major League Baseball.
This is a very good day for baseball fans, because the last thing you want is games ended because of a bad call.
Robot umpires set to settle disputes. Stay with us.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV, starting at 7 with E-Talk.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could win $20,000. For your chance to win, watch CTV Your Morning Edmonton, weekday mornings 6 to 9.
Programming brought to you by Southview Acura. For family-owned award-winning excellence, Southview Acura, where luxury meets reality.
The Toronto Blue Jays are fighting to keep their top spot in Major League Baseball. The only certainty for fans at this point is what's coming next season. Automated umpires. CTV's Adrian Gobriel is at the home of the Blue Jays with a preview of the future.
But it's a strike, and again, not reviewable. Oh, boy. And then that call goes against them.
In baseball, 3 strikes is always meant you're out.
That ball, a good 3 inches off the outside corner.
Often leading to close quarter disagreements.
They are yelling at each other like this close, like face to face. The really immature managers are kicking dirt on the ump.
And Billy is not going to go quietly. They've been sort of like Supreme Court justices. There has been no higher court.
That will change as of next season. Major League Baseball confirming that each team will get 2 chances to challenge a ball or a strike as it ushers in the era of robot umpiring using an automated ball strike system known as ABS.
This is a very good day for baseball fans, because the last thing you want is games ended because of a bad call.
Utilizing a dozen cameras positioned around the field, ABS technology is also being used in tennis and football. The league says it will take no more than 15 seconds for a challenged pitch to be decided.
And the average replay challenge took 13.8 seconds. And there's only 4 challenges in the course of a game. So we're literally talking about 57 seconds added to a game.
Baseball pundits say the move can't come soon enough.
Baseball's been going on since the 19th century. Baseball's been going on since before the First World War. And now they're finally doing this.
It's important to note that the human element of the game will remain unchanged. Umpires will still be behind home plate. Those we spoke with, though, hope this will encourage the men in black to step up their game. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
A cool start to the day tomorrow. 5 degrees in the morning. We'll get up to about 21 or 22 tomorrow afternoon. Sunshine for most of the day, but late in the afternoon, a few clouds. And then tomorrow evening, a chance of a few scattered showers in the area. We'll drop back to highs of about 18 for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's still a little warmer than today. It was 16 today. That's still slightly above average as well. And Monday, looks like we're back into the low 20s for one more day. Not a lot of those 20-something temperatures, though, coming our way between now and the end of next week.
Or April.
Yeah. Well, you can still get some mild days in October, but yeah, 25s for sure are done.
All right. Thanks, Josh. And thanks for sharing your time with us. Have a great evening, everyone.